Now, Mel, but I'm not actually. I haven't done the actual podcast yet. Let's have a look. No, we are live. Goodness gracious me, how exciting. All right, cool beans. Well, so what I'm going to do firstly is I'm just going to do a little intro and say g'day and just say g'day to you, because I think it's important to say g'day.
You crack me up.
Stop it. I actually, I got a reminder on your invoice today. I forgot to pay your Instagram.
There you go. Tell the world.
Yeah. So you got to pay Mel. Otherwise she'll remain friends with you and come on your podcast. Anywho, we're recording. Fantastic. Welcome back to the Coaches to the Moon podcast, everyone, where today we are talking about the business of coaching with a very good friend of mine, it's Melanie Brandt. She's a fellow digital marketer. She's a social media expert, self-proclaimed, and she's the founder of Lifestyle Is that Industry or Independent?
It's Industries.
Lifestyle Industries, Media and Marketing. She helps businesses grow their brands, make their whole digital landscape, and she's an all-round legend. Mel, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. My diary is absolutely jam-packed, but you know what? I was always going to make time for this because, we work together.
Well, thank you. We do. And I know you are one of the busiest people I know. So you have full permission to be interrupted by a child or parrot during this podcast.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. I'm fine with that. And thank you for making time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always a pleasure. So I want to start by saying that I know you've had some huge success in your company lately, but 6 years ago, you were a full-time working mum. You had that mum guilt that a lot of parents, dads as well, get these days, and you were just really not hugely happy with your life.
Yeah.
Tough question. If you could summarize the secret to your transformation from full-time working mum to where you are now in one word, what would it be?
Growth.
Okay, let's unpack it. Growth is growth's broad, and that's fair enough. Is it personal growth? What got you moving in the first place?
I think for me, the pain of staying where I was, was enough for me to start to open my mind on what was possible. Much like everyone else, I sort of thought that you worked a 9 to 5 and that's just what you did. If you wanted to contribute to the household, you would need to have a baby and go back to work. I didn't really know any other way until, the online space was introduced to me. And I guess I was like a kid in a candy store. My eyes just lit up and went, are you kidding me? Why hasn't somebody told me about this? So, I think when I say growth, I needed to become a different version of myself in order to be able to maintain a business that is now extremely successful. So 6 years ago, I wasn't this version of myself. And there was lots of things I needed to grow through and lots of healing that I needed to do from, life and all the things that we get handed along the way.
Totally. And I think personal growth is a really big part of it. But what I see a lot these days, I don't know if you see this as well, is coaches in the coaching space. They think they need to be perfect before they can achieve any level of success. And they think they need to be, because they're a role model, they need to be fixed and healed in every way. But I know that I'm not fully healed. I'm not perfect by any means. Do you think you need to do a lot of the personal growth before the business, or do you think it comes with the business?
Yeah, I think, look, I dived straight into it. I didn't learn the process. I didn't learn, I didn't get into the online space in digital marketing. I started off in network marketing. So I didn't know anything about anything to do with anything, really. So I just hit the ground running, but I had committed that I would learn along the way. So it was very uncomfortable, as in, every day was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. But I just did it. And then, I called it failing forward. So every time I got it wrong, it wasn't like, oh my God, I completely just got that wrong. It was like, okay, cool. Let's try again. And let's not do that this time. And I just continued to fail forward. Every time it fell apart, pick it back up, start again. It was literally like getting pantsed 45 times a week. It was like, Okay, great. Pull them back up again. Let's keep going and running a little bit more. Bang, they come down again. It's like, pull them up, keep running. It's the only way that I can put it, because some of them were complete and epic fuck ups. There's no other way to put it. They were complete face down moments where I just went, I don't even know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't even know what the next step is. But finding the people that you can reach out to is key. Hey, I'm stuck. Help me. What do I do next? And I guess for me, I was never scared of reaching out. Whereas I think a lot of people suffer in their undies because they try and do it by themselves.
Their pants get pulled down. They don't pull them back up again.
Yeah. They're much like being at a Bucks party. They're strapped to the light pole, butt naked. Like no one's helping them. So, it is. You've got to have the courage to go, I don't know what I'm doing and I need help. Yeah,
and that's why you and I both paid the same guy 20 grand to be in his mastermind, right? And we've both made it back, and it's a scary step to make, but you get used to, investing in yourself and taking bigger and bigger risks. But, if you commit to it like you did, head down, bum up, you make it all back in waves pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, I think it wasn't until I started investing, before that I had some success, but it wasn't, monstrous levels. And then as soon as I started investing in working with people that could help me get the outcome I was looking for quicker, holy moly, things changed completely. And then the investments started to get larger, and it was still scary. It was still, like, oh, wow, what if this doesn't work? But, the last investment I made has completely turned my life around. So.
Absolutely. And I know you also have a pretty big team of people. How many people are on your team at the moment?
I think we've got about 7.
7 people on your team. So that's 7 paychecks you got to send out. Having a team member is a bit of a risk. How do you justify the risk of taking on a new team member and that outlay of cash that you need to do so?
Yeah, so I think really, I work with my team members' strengths. I don't really throw them things that I know they're going to struggle with, because that makes me anxious, because we're on such a strict timeline and we turn over such massive amounts of growth for people. I think we've got 30 something website builds in progress at the moment. Like, it's absolutely insane. So I need to make sure that when I bring team on, that they have the strengths that I need at that time. And really, it's just about understanding, like, everyone starts somewhere. So, we really guide them and teach them what they need to know. But I have specialists in every area. I don't try and have one person that does it all. I've got people that create my content. I've got people that build websites. I've got people, that literally excel in the areas that they love. And it means that it doesn't feel like work for them either, because they're just doing what they love.
Awesome. I love that. That's a really, really cool philosophy. And just having other people help you with your strengths, that's what makes a business, right? Rather than being a full-time job. Yeah.
And I think, now we earn more than we ever have. And I probably, even though my diary is quite busy, I have more flexibility now than I ever had. So if I want to just go MIA, I can literally just hand my business over to my team and off I go. And I can trust that it's still going to be afloat the next day. But yeah, I think, there are a lot of risks that you need to take. And I guess I kind of try and remove the emotion from it. It's a business decision. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then we just find another option.
Yeah, great. I actually brought on my first full-time employee this morning.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been a game changer. This podcast, I'll send it off to him. He's going to clip it up, find the nuggets of gold that you have with some direction. It's going to go up on all my social channels with some content that's been created that he's branding up for me. And then your team is going to throw that out there and increase the engagement on it. And it's just stuff I used to spend such a long time on every week that is now open for either business growth or, doing what I want to do, like hanging out with my family. And you're a family lady, it's, do you grow your team with growth of the business in mind or with your own time freedom in mind?
I grow my business within the thoughts that I'm actually growing my family. So everybody on my team are incredibly important to me, like out of business. which is really, really cool because we are all invested in the end result of the company's growth. Which I think, you know, and we've heard it before, that if you don't have a mission that your team's working towards, then everybody kind of just goes, oh, here's your documents, here's whatever you need. And there's no love put into it. Whereas the people that I've brought into my company, that have been in my space for many, many years. And, you know, they felt honored to be on my team. So I think that that's really, really cool. And, you know, I wanted to create, I didn't want to create jobs. I never wanted a job. You know, this is why I started what I started. I wanted to be able to have that flexibility, and I wanted to be able to create positions for people that allowed them to work from home. So, you know, I have a heap of mums on my team that are raising little babies or cooking little babies at the moment. And, you know, this allows them to keep doing what they're doing and still have an income. And, you know, they're in complete control of how many hours that they take on board, which is, it's really, really cool because they've just designed their life.
That's super awesome. And, you know, the way that you've said that you're building your business, that's what great business owners do, is they think about how many people can I employ? How many people can I help with this business? Not how much money can I make? But my question is, how do you get a remote worker working from home believing in your mission as a company?
Yeah, so I think, like I said, you know, it was really important for me to find people, that were Australia based. That was very, very big for me, because I needed the understanding of the company. I needed people to know my story. This is why when I recruit, I quite often put it out on my socials, because I want to recruit somebody that I know. I want to recruit somebody that, you know, has watched my journey over the last few years. So I think that's how I've done it, is, you know, I've just got people who are, you know, honored to be a part of what we're creating because they see themselves as, you know, a friend to me. You know, they're somebody that holds value in my life. And, you know, by holding that value, they don't want to let me down. So they play at a higher level. You know, they know what this means to me because they've watched me create it and not give up on it for almost 7 years now. So yeah, I think I had to, for me, I personally had to find people that wanted to be on this journey. And I had to find people that understood that, you know, if you stick with me in this growth mode while things are messy, you know, it's a beautiful mess at the moment. It's organized chaos. You know, if you can stick by me through these times where, you know, things are messy and crazy, but so beautiful, you're going to be very well rewarded, and you're going to be able to pick your wage and pick your business and pick when you work. And I'm quite happy to support them on that. You know, quite often I say to them, you know, I'll pay you 8 hours online, which is nothing like 8 hours in the real world. And, you know, if you only work 4 of those and you get the job done, then perfect. You know, you just got 4 hours paid off, and I don't care. You know, so I think for me, I'm very, very, very understanding in the rewards that you get when you're in this team as well.
Yeah, and people coming through that organized chaos in any job, they are going to be very resilient, very systemized. They're going to know how to hustle. I remember when I was in hospitality and restaurants, if I came from a place that was real hustle and bustle, 300 covers a night, you know, fast, out the door. And then I went to a fine dining restaurant where it's all kind of like really slow and calculated.
Yeah.
They had more skill than me, but I could handle shit better. You know, I could handle a mess better than they could. And I think, you know, and then you can develop the skills.
100%.
But if you learn in that pirate ship,
you've just got to be willing. You know, like some of the girls that have started, they didn't have the skills that they have now, but I've stuck with them and, you know, taught them along the way and said, hey, you know, here's a course, go and do that, go and do this, you know. So I'm forever helping them grow as well. But I think it's been quite easy because everyone in the team is aligned with their exact passion. So they're like, oh, you're giving me more work? Perfect. They're excited about it. They're not like, oh my God, I've just got another 10 hours. They're like, yeah, sure, I'll build you 30 websites. So it's tested people on many, many levels, but every single one of the people within my team is earning more now, being in the team.
Awesome. You're very frozen right now. No, wait, there you are. Oh no, it's me.
Yeah.
I've got a storm outside. Bugger.
It's all good. I can see you and hear you.
We'll do our best. Yeah, we'll do our best. Where I live, if there's a storm or it rains, the internet goes down, which is great for a digital marketing company. Anyway, you mentioned that you were in network marketing. You were pretty successful in network marketing. And, I'm 100% positive that a lot of the fact you're so good at networking and sales and running a team comes from network marketing. What do you think you learned from that style of business that you can apply to a traditional business?
Yeah. Oh, wow. A lot. I think there's a few good things and a few bad things. The good things are, everybody wants recognition. Everybody wants to be the rock star. Everybody wants to be put on the pedestal. I also realized that most people talk shit about the results that they want. They speak the truth about the results they want, but they talk shit about the effort that they're willing to put in. So I think it really made me watch people's feet, not their lips. Yeah, because a lot of people were like, I want to earn $1 million. And I'm like, cool, what have you done today? Oh, nothing. I took the kids to the park. Yeah, okay, cool. That's not going to earn you $1 million. Also, I think what I realized was a lot of people are not willing to have short-term pain for long-term pleasure. Yeah, so they're all like, no, I've got a family and I need to be there for my family. And it's like, yeah, but there's going to be, you're going to have to give up something for a short amount of time. You're going to be a lot busier, but I can absolutely guarantee you that it's going to pay off for life. So, there was a lot of things that came to fruition. I think another one of them was a lot of people want to be in the online space, but they don't understand attraction marketing. A lot of people sell and no one likes to be sold to. It's yuck. So, I guess that's kind of how I created what I've created, was understanding the gaps in the online space. So, some other things that I learned is that if you want people to know you, like you, and trust you, you need to go first. You need to go and get all the results. And then, yes, you can show people how to do it. But I think there's a lot of coaches out there at the moment that are trying to 1, 2, miss a few, 99, 100, check me out. And it's like, man, you don't have the stripes on the board yet, and I think and some people agree, some people don't, but I think it's incredibly important that you stay humble to where you've come from, and you stay true to where you're at. And yeah, I think, as a coach, understanding that our job isn't to convince people what they need to do. Our job is to help them unlock their purpose and passion so that they can align with exactly where they need to be. And something I've seen very, very recently is a coach that, is out there saying, well, don't do this and don't do that. You need to focus on this, and I think that's really, really poor form. So, network marketing showed me a lot, but it was my apprenticeship. Like, honestly, network marketing showed me how to build a mansion, but it also showed me how to build the concrete foundations that mansion needs in order to not fall apart as well. So did I do it correctly? Kind of not really. Did I follow the correct to-dos? Definitely not. Did I learn everything before I got started? 110% no. Did I rock up to everywhere that I should have been? Yes. Did I show up every day? Yes. Did I show up on the days I wanted to quit? Yes, every single time. And I think, that's the difference in any situation. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The difference between me and somebody who's not having results is, I guarantee you that I didn't stop. On the days that I didn't get the results, I found a way.
Yeah, you did, Mel. Yeah, you did. And that, like you said, you got way too much on at the moment and it's a mess, but you're going to find a way, right?
Yeah, but I think also, I understand that it's not going to look like this forever. The company's had monstrous growth that is not going to slow down anytime soon. And, at the moment, we're building systems and procedures in order for, us to move into massive, crazy automation as well. So there's going to be a time where, the pressure is on. And it is on thick and fast, and it's coming in from all directions. And I'm actually more cruisy now than I've ever been. I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to do a little bit over here and do a little bit over here. And tomorrow we'll do a little bit more, rather than like, oh my God, honestly, Alex, if I looked at the end result, I may as well go and buy myself a straight jacket, a padded room and a mouth guard, because there's no coming out of this like sane. If I was to concentrate on the end result, I just need to concentrate on what's the next step for the company right now. What do we need to execute on right now? And where do my team need to be? And
nice.
We just keep moving that little bit every day.
One day at a time. That's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, I know you've grown massively, and a lot of people can learn a lot from where you're at now. But what you mostly do is you work with small businesses as well. And so I want to pick your brain about small business a little bit now. You help them with their social media, you help them build their websites, pretty much everything from, ground zero upwards. First thing, what's the biggest mistake you see small businesses make with their social media, and what's the quickest way to fix it?
Their branding. Branding, I think, is the first thing that I see. A lot of people are confused about it, not quite sure about it, so they're just putting up whatever they think they should. And when they put up whatever they think they should, it's usually not going to be right. So you're hurting yourself even more by not finding a way. So I think that's the first thing I always attack, is your branding, your vibe, and what you should be sharing, because that's so incredibly important to align you with the right people. Then the right conversations are going to start, then the conversion is going to happen, and it starts to be this domino effect. And it starts with, if you're not clear on who you are and what you're about, you're not going to go anywhere.
Great. So what do they do to remedy that?
So it would be sitting down with them and working out, their branding. It might be tweaking their name, colors, palette, style, vibe, theme as well, especially for Instagram. Like aesthetically, is it pleasing, or are they just throwing a heap of images up? So yeah, that's definitely the first thing that they need to work on, making sure they've got a really nice trickle of organic followers coming through that they're connecting with. And then from there, it's, working with someone like you, to work out, right, well, what's their strategy moving forward for their marketing? How are they going to have a constant, tap turned on of leads coming through? But honestly, you don't want to turn that tap on and have those leads land on a page that doesn't look the part.
Yeah, people need to go to you before they come to me, People need to have an established brand, an established mission, an established product before they go and invest in digital marketing.
Assets. They need to have the assets, like if you're trying to have $1 million business and you don't even have a website, like it's not going to work, because people are going to go and search you and they're not going to find you and they're not going to trust you. So, I think it's so incredibly important. But I think also, spreading a little bit of gray, or spreading a little bit of light over the gray areas of your business, and saying, okay, well, I really work with people with the 5 to 10 year vision. Like, what is your business going to look like in 5 to 10 years? I don't really care about your website that you want to build now. What do we need this website to do in 5 or 10 years? Because I work with a platform that, is completely different to what most people are using. And it's because, the people that I work with, their businesses are going to be monstrous in 5 or 10 years. And that small build isn't going to work for them.
Yeah, I've come across that a lot. People who I built sites for last year, now they come to me, they're like, doesn't all fit on the same website anymore. And I'll just send them to you now, because
yeah. Yeah, so I think it's just, and this is what I feel a good marketer is someone that can go, what I build for you it's not what you need. And many a times if somebody comes to me with a WordPress website, I'm like, I can't help you. we're not even having this conversation because it's not what I do.
Yeah.
So, I think it's really about having the right people in your corner, like you or you for I, and going, hey, I'm not going to help you because it's not what I do, but here's someone that can definitely help you. And I think that, that is true leadership, is when you can go, hey, I'm not even going to try and execute, because I think a lot of people get caught in the money, like, oh, but I need the money. So they take on the job and they either can't execute it, or they execute it, but it's really not what the client needs over the 5 to 10 years. So that client's now going to have to go and invest more money and have it done again, which, guess who they're not going to be happy with.
Yeah, that's an awesome tip. Really, that's a game-changing thought for me, by the way, for the way I treat my clients.
And even if you don't do the job, you can still be the absolute rock star for that client, because you were the one that helped them get what they needed. Yeah. They love the person that built it for them as well. But let me tell you, the trust that you would have built by saying to them, hey, you know what? I can't really help you, but this person can because of X, Y, Z. They're going to go, wow, the way you do business is incredible, because you were invested in their end result. You weren't invested in what you were going to get out of it.
Boom. That's a lovely, I'd love to finish on that, because that's such a good thing to say, but I'm not going to finish there, because I have a little speed round for you, just to ask you a few really, really quick questions, because I know you have to go and do 1,000 things. Okay.
Yeah.
Speed round. If you could only use one social media platform from now on, what would you use? Facebook. Why?
Because I love connections. Connections is where I make all of the conversations happen, and I find out the pain points in people's lives, and I offer a solution.
Nice. Love it. If you were just starting out and you had $5,000 to spend on your business, where would you spend it?
I would literally spend it on getting my assets set up so that I had the authority. So when I talk to people that are driving down the highway and I call them and tell them about what I do, they can go and check me out, and the trust is there.
So website.
Probably website. I would definitely, if I didn't know how to do it myself, I would invest in someone to show me how to do my branding, my color palette, my Instagram theme, and start to get some growth happening on that account, so that when people drop on the account, they can see, that you're a service that exists. I'm not a massive believer. I mean, Jesus, my first Instagram got hacked. My second Instagram, I think we've only got like 3,000 or 4,000 followers. But, I don't always think it's about the numbers as such. I think it's more about, that business and their service, because, not every business is going to have that strategy. Right now, Instagram's not my strategy. Yeah. So I think it's just about, if somebody refers you, that's where you need to be looking, because they've already had a good experience.
100%. I do it for restaurants. If we're going to go to a restaurant, I'm looking it up on Instagram straight away. But Facebook is a great place to network. Aside from yourself, who should people go and follow for some branding, business, lifestyle inspiration?
Branding, business, lifestyle inspiration. I think if you're in the online space, Social Sam is really good. Like, she has some amazing ideas. Yourself, you're putting up some really, really quality content. I think that's great. But, I think, to be honest, all I did was find 3 to 5 people that have what I want and mirror what they're doing. Now, mirror and copy are very, very different. Mirror is have a look at what they're doing and get inspired and come up with your own ideas. I've always had people where I'm like, I'm feeling really uninspired right now. I'm going to go check out what they're doing. And I can guarantee you, by the time I've had a quick scroll, I'm back in the game again. So you need to have people that, have what you want.
Fair enough. It was a very broad question. Everyone wants to follow different stuff, right? So that's a really, really good answer. Finally, Melanie Brandt, if you had to start again today with 0 followers and $0, what's the first thing you'd do?
Exactly what I did. And that was just hit go and just work it out as you go. Like, just find your first client and then find your second one. And then, go all in with your clients. I go absolutely above and beyond with my clients, and a quality problem, but they don't want to leave, which has us at full capacity constantly. But, you've got to go above and beyond because these people are investing in you. They're trusting in you. And I think more people need to take it seriously.
Yes, I love that. I love above and beyond. You've gone above and beyond just by rocking up to this podcast today, Melanie Brandt. Thank you so much. You've been inspirational to me, and I'm sure to a bunch of other people out there. Where do we find you? You've got your Build Your Empire podcast. Where do we find that?
Yeah. So Build Your Empire podcast is on Spotify. It's on podcasts. It's on all the channels. We have website, which is lifestyind.com. Otherwise, I'm on all the socials, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all of them. But, if you want to chat, then definitely flick me a message on Facebook because that's where people do all the chatting. So thank you so much for having me. And I love what you're doing. I love watching it all unfold.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. We're side by side on this big journey together, Mel. I'm there nipping at your heels and we'll all get there one day. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Everyone who's watching live, you're amazing. Melanie, thank you so much one more time.
You're welcome.
And I'll catch you all next week with another episode of Coach